Welcome to the unit called Media Bias Fact Check. You're going to use a particular site to determine if you would use certain sources to gather information and to share with others. So go ahead and visit slide number 2 and look at the directions. Your teacher will probably show you 2 videos before completing this unit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to visit each slide and you're going to look up the source and fill out each slide based on the example on slide number 3. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Media Bias Fact Check. And as you can see, I used Breitbart, so I'll go ahead and copy that and I'll show you how I completed this. I will paste it in and hit the Enter key. I will click on Breitbart Bias and Credibility. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to gather my information. As you can see, it's considered extreme right. And if you would have watched the video on step number 2, you'll have a better idea of what left versus right means. You're going to want to read the information in here to get as much information as possible to determine if it's credible or not. You'll scroll down and this is where you'll have the information to fill out the table. So as you can see, it says the bias rating is extreme right. It's mixed in factual reporting, and according to the credibility rating, it's low credibility. So I filled out the table based on that. I did write my comments over on the right, and I was able to do that by reading this information. So after reading that information, this is what I came up with. I would not use this as a source considering it is low credibility. The site mentions that it is extreme right with propaganda, conspiracy, and failed fact checks. The site mentions that the sources used are questionable. They recommend fact checking on a per article basis. It would be irresponsible to use this source to try and persuade people to think a certain way. We must continue to seek the truth to make educated decisions that can impact society. This is a source I would never use in order to gather information. If you go to the next slide, you'll see Politico has been added, so you would look that up. So you can go back to the site and you would then type in Politico in the search window and then click on the political bias, scroll down, get your information, read this part so that you can write a summary. And this is where you would get your information about the credibility and such. Once you've completed each slide by visiting the different sources, you would visit the reflection page. This is where you will reflect on why it is important to be able to determine if your source of information is reliable. How can misinformation hurt a society? How can it impact a democracy? This concludes the session on how to use the Media Bias Fact Check in order to determine if a source is credible or not. Until next time, you have a wonderful day.